Top 10 Adult Watch Alone Web Series, Best Hot Web Series. Do you want to see something that is captivating and will continue to be captivating even after you have streamed it for more than 10 hours? We are not simply referring to nudity, such as in Game of Thrones, or sleazier series, such as Californication and Entourage, nor are we referring to shows about people who pay for it, such as Hung or The Girlfriend Experience, and we are most certainly not referring to anything that is broadcast under the banner of HBO After Dark. No, that's not sexy at all. There's a big difference between the two. Because adult shows like Orange is the New Black are probably old favorites of yours at this point, we are well aware that switching up the series you watch on streaming services on a regular basis can be one of the most seductive things you can do. This is one of the reasons why we recommend that you switch up the shows you watch on a regular basis. In light of this, we have put together a very scientific list of TV shows that are appropriate for streaming in order to get you in the appropriate frame of mind. Suddenly, the television program industry has flourished to the point that it can compete with its equivalents in the film industry in terms of investment, profit, and general fan following. This is true for all of these factors. In response to the growth of the cinematic universe, the world of television has begun to incorporate concepts such as obscenity and acts of violence that was previously only seen in movies. The entertainment business has evolved in a manner that no one could have predicted at any point in time. The following is a list of 10 television programs that are intended for mature audiences and should never be seen in the company of another person. 10. The Affair. This He Said She Said series is all about attractive people enjoying passionate meetings behind closed doors. What else do you need? Oh, may there have been a murder involved? And a depiction of the publishing world that is so absurd that it's actually funny? And a look into the future of the Hamptons, which is predicted to be severely affected by climate change. You, on the other hand, will obtain it in addition. 9. Bridgeton. The story takes place during the early 1800s Regency period, often known as the Austen-Bronte stretch of time, during a time when the structure of English society was rigid, corsets were tight, and marriage was the first priority for any lady who was believed to be of age. After creating headlines with her exclusive partnership with Netflix, Shonda Rhimes has begun producing original content for the streaming service with the premiere of Bridgeton. To put it another way, the plot revolves around gorgeous characters who get themselves into scandalous situations, which is exactly what viewers of Shondaland have come to expect from the show. If you find yourself caught up in the slow burn, stick around for the even more intense second season. Season 1 is the one to watch if you're looking for a sexual exploration story that's stock full of aristocrats tearing off their garments left and right, but tune in for Season 2 if you're looking for a slow burn. Season 1 is the one to watch if you're looking for a swoon-worthy story of sexual exploration that's stock full of aristocrats tearing off their garments left and right. Each new season of the show features an original narrative that builds upon the previous one. In the second season, formerly antagonistic characters find that the intensity of their growing feelings for one another is too much for them to take, and they end up falling in love with one another. You will most likely find yourself taken with Bridgeton if you are in the mood for something sexual to happen. Bridgeton is quite seductive. This is the case irrespective of the things that tickle your fancy. 8. Conversations with Friends. If you are a fan of Sally Rooney, the queen of millennial literature, it is probable that you have read or at the very least heard of her debut work, Conversations with Friends. If you are not a fan of Sally Rooney, it is likely that you have at least heard of her. The plot of this book is on a relationship that develops between two college students / poetic performance artists / best friends / ex-lovers and an older married couple. A miniseries that is based on the novel has been developed by Hulu, just as they did with the adaptation of Normal People that came before it. Even if the primarily introspective plot doesn't necessarily always succeed on film, the story's sense of yearning vibrates beneath all of its quiet moments and restraint as a story about an affair between the two couples unfolds. This sense of yearning is present throughout the entire movie. There is a great deal of conversation concerning art and theory, but there is hardly any discussion concerning feelings. Nevertheless, when feelings do end up spilling out, witnessing it is an emotionally charged event that will cause your heart rate to quicken. 7. Easy. Mumblecore icon. The anthology that Joe Swanberg created for Netflix is, in all honesty, all about sex and love. It covers topics such as BDSM experimentation, first-time threesomes, polyamorous marriages, having sex with your ex, Tinder, and so on. Aubrey Plaza, Dave Franco, Hannibal Buress, Judy Greer, Zazie Beetz, and many other well-known actors and actresses appear in the Chicago-based show, which is structured like a series of short films that are each only a few minutes long. The show showcases Swanberg's credibility as an independent filmmaker. It more or less gets beneath the covers to take a genuine look at relationships and intimacy and all of the vulnerable, unpleasant oddities that come along with them, but the truth is that reality can also be really attractive. 6. Elite. This Spanish teen drama that is set in a wealthy private high school was an unexpected hit when it was initially released on Netflix in 2018, and it is easy to understand why. There is a riveting murder mystery that continues throughout the entire season, obscene displays of wealth, and lots and plenty of sex. In addition to being a soapy whodunit, Elite also features issue-based subplots that deal with problems such as class inequality, xenophobia, and the stigma associated with HIV. These recurring subplots are the running undercurrents that truly keep this program afloat. Even if you make use of the subtitles, it won't be long until you've finished watching this series in its entirety. 5. Desperate Housewives. We all know that the suburbs aren't as lovely as they seem at first glance, despite the presence of perfectly manicured lawns and white picket fences. After a neighbor unexpectedly commits suicide, the women of Wisteria Lane find themselves thrust into the spotlight of this long-running network series. Naturally, there is a lot of crime, adultery, marital strife, and personal issues in the area, providing plenty of wonderful cliches to keep you fantasizing, including some steamy infidelity with the handsome gardener. Undoubtedly the most alluring soap to ever hit our tiny screens. 4. Fleabag. The protagonist in Phoebe Waller-One-Woman Bridges' stage play, a dramedy based on her own performance, is dealing with the abrupt and shocking loss of her best friend, but in her grief, she is crashing headlong through life and risking her own annihilation in the process. In Season 2, she develops feelings for a priest, Reed, the hot priest, played by Andrew Scott, against the pompous laws of the Catholic Church and possibly everything that is best for her heart, sinning aside. This leads to one of the sexiest TV romances ever, although it is forbidden in God's eyes. Every time these two appear in a film together, you'll be praying the Hail Mary and fanning yourself with the Bible. 3. Girls. The critically acclaimed series created by Lena Dunham never shied away from depicting the entirety of the sexual experience continuum, from the excruciatingly embarrassing to the, well, truly sexy. Even if sexiness was never intended to be the program's objective, the ability to empathize with people that aren't ideal is often what makes a show more sexually alluring. 2. Gossip Girl. Do you recall the commercial entitled Every Parent's Nightmare? The Terry Richardson Rolling Stone cover shoot features Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, for example. Or how about the triangle scheme involving Hilary Duff? In part, the show's campiness was what made Gossip Girl so entertaining. Take Serena's relationships with Nate Archibald, Trip Van Der Bilt, and Colin Forrester, for example. They were all flawless blonde clones with ridiculously preppy names. See? Campy. And still really sexual. 1. The L Word. This sitcom has accumulated a significant number of love scenes over the course of its 6 seasons. Pride.com came up with a total of exactly 97. There are many who favor the Shane scenes the most. There are many who prefer the names Bet or Alice. What I'm trying to convey is that there is a lot here for you. It's always hot, and it was a show that broke new ground for the representation of LGBT people. So you should just enjoy it. Also, make sure you see the episode titled Liquid Heat, which is about the heat wave. You won't be let down in any way. That's it for today. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons to enjoy more videos. Thanks for watching.